So I tell you what, because I don't know how much of what I caught earlier. So if you don't mind me asking, what's your name?
Sarah Jane.
Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane, do you want to tell us a little bit about the Masked Truth, where we can find you and what it is you do on your platform?
First got in touch with the Masked Truth in November when he first started up, told my story, and they've helped us like get the person I am now, and I'm actually studying to be a psychologist.
Yep.
So I can give positive assessments instead of negative and using your childhood against you. You can get in touch with the Masked Truth on Facebook.
Yep.
You can get in touch www.maskedtruth.co.uk. You can email work on admin@maskedtruth.co.uk, and you can find one on TikTok at the Masked Truth UK, and we help families going through local authorities and forced adoption, fostering, and we help many families to take it back to court. And we do recommend going self-litigant in person because the lawyers are all in it as well. The lawyers are all in it, the police, you know, so it's scandalous, and the forced adoptions need to stop.
So obviously the Masked Truth's been a massive help to you. You're now an ambassador. Your first ambassador.
I was the first ambassador. I joined Masked Truth in November. I had lost my children 4 years ago, had nobody, anything like that. Went to the psychologist, told the psychologist what my problems were. Then that's been used against us, and every detail's been put in what shouldn't have been. My data's been breached, and then obviously the Masked Truth's helping us to go back to court to get my children home.
And how much of a help have the Masked Truth been to you? Where do you think, if you didn't have the Masked Truth, do you think you'd be in a different place right now?
I would have been in prison or something, or in a hospital. Yeah, probably would have been dead.
And can I ask, the Masked Truth, are you covering like the whole country? Are you focusing on a certain area? So anyone nationally can reach out to you guys and get support, etc.
You can find we're on all these platforms.
Fantastic.
And then Together for Children.
Fantastic. Well, for one, I'd like just to say how strong I think you are.
Together for Children, not for profit.
Right, I'd just like to say how strong I think you are as an individual. One to stand up there in a big public place like this.
More I would have said, but I would have just broken down.
But no, you're definitely a survivor and not a victim.
I'm going to speak to the doctor, but what the doctor will do, I don't know. They'll probably just share it with everybody for the whole world to know. I know, I get more help from the Masked Truth than I do from professionals.
And the Masked Truth, do you get any funding from anywhere?
No.
It's solely all done by yourselves, independent.
We have had a few good cases, like obviously successful ones. And I'm on a reunification with my daughter now, but I am going back to court to fight against forced adoption because there's been 2 births and registrations for my son. So I don't know where the other ones come from.
Would it be safe to say that social services aren't fit for purpose as well?
Yeah, they're not. I'm taking every single one of them back, and the psychologist, Dr. Tracy Taylor. So I hope you're watching Dr. Tracy Taylor, and I hope you're watching Charlotte Whaley, and I hope you're watching Natasha Watson, and I hope you're watching Andrew Whalen, the team manager. I am coming for you. Thank you.
No, thank you. And do you take like funding? Do you have like a link or anywhere where people can donate to you?
We do have a link.
It's on the Facebook page.
It's on the Facebook
on your Facebook page.
Yes.
I'll look for that, and then what I'll do is I'll share that on my platform, and then if people want to support and send some donations over, hopefully they will. Yeah. But yeah, no, I appreciate you speaking to me, and keep up what you're doing. The more people that...
I would have said more, but I would have just broke down.
No, you're doing fantastic.
A lot in here.
Is this the first time you kind of spoke publicly on a mic as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, you've done really well.
Like
really well.
When I'm on like the TikTok lives and that.
In the background
No, honestly, keep up the good work and good luck with the future and your degree and things. Honestly, it's fantastic.
Give positive assessments and not negatives.
That's right.
I'm training to become independent social worker.
Ah, okay.
That's new to me as well.
Nice.
And we also advocate for the Mass Truth and Project R.
Yeah, we do.
Me and Sarah are the ambassadors for Project R and Mass Truth. But mainly Mass Truth.
Yeah. Fantastic. I love it.
When was it? November? When you first started up? That I joined you?
And you joined, yeah. And then I joined December after I went to court.
No, fantastic. Well, thank you for speaking to me anyway. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Carol Finch. And my story is a fight against forced adoption. My name is Carol Finch, and my journey is one of the heartbreak resilience in a relentless fight against the system that failed me and my children. This is my story. In 2009, my two eldest children were removed by local authority. I was devastated but determined to rebuild. I moved to Scotland in 2011 while pregnant with my daughter. For 6 years, I created a stable life for my youngest daughter. Then in 2019, my life took a turn for the worst, and I met my ex-partner, whose abuse left deep scars on me and my family. The abuse escalated when I became pregnant with my son. Both my children were placed on child protection plan, but despite clear warning signs, the social worker failed to recognise or act upon the danger of my ex-partner, who endured domestic abuse. I was systematically ignored by every public body involved in our case. Instead of support, I was left to navigate trauma alone. While my abuser was given the benefit of the doubt. In an effort to protect my children, I made a brave decision to leave and move back to Newcastle. But instead of the safety, I faced further targeting from the same local authorities from 2009, again in 2019. They exposed my location to my ex-partner, forcing me to relocate repeatedly to avoid his threats. Desperate my repeated cries for help, the system failed to shield us from the relentless harassment. On March 15, 2021, my world fell apart. My children were removed from my care. The pain was unbearable, leading me to self-harm and hospitalisation. Court proceedings began, but as I left to represent myself with no legal aid or assistance, meanwhile, my ex-partner got legal aid. I thought tirelessly even appealing the forced adoption on my youngest son, but on May 18, 2023, I lost custody of him and they adopted him out. This ordeal, the systematic failure, compounded my struggles. They ignored the domestic abuse. The public bodies repeatedly failed to acknowledge or act on the abuse I endured, leaving my children and me unprotected. Weaponized trauma. My psychologist assessment focused on my childhood trauma, which I went through bad childhood trauma as a child, and it's left us with complex PTSD. I've got anxiety, depression, and the endangerment by the system. The authorities exposed my location to my abuser, disregarding the risk to the safety of me and my children. And it was in COVID-19, I was pressured to take my 9-year-old daughter to school while heavily pregnant with my son, which caused me to go in early labour. The false allegation reports accused me of neglect, despite me wanting unwavering efforts. And I'm on a reunification with my daughter now. It's took us 4 years and my fight is far from over. and I stand not only for my family, but countless others who have suffered forced adoption and injustice. And now I'm studying in university to be a psychologist, so I'm able to help families who are going through local authorities and give them a good assessment instead of a negative one, in discrimination, and taking the psychologists and all the social workers down for what they put me through.
Go on, girl. Fair play to you.
Yes, well done.
Thank you. Next up, we've got a victim in Telford who wants to speak.